I feel like I'm like any other person, but there's a certain edge about me that I feel like I stand out to people more. And being a first generation Latino living here, I definitely do get a lot of questions about my background. And I like that. I like having that thing about me.
Being a Latino student in KU, it's very, very different. I didn't know what to expect coming here. If there were even a lot of Latinos here at all, but the Latino community is very strong in Kutztown, very stronger than I thought it would be as well. And they really embrace and take care of one another. We're a community in itself.
Kutztown University wasn't my first choice, but they were the school that was going to help me be able to afford to get through. I come from a single-parent household, just me and my mom, so I couldn't really afford school. But Kutztown has, their financial aid was great. They had an additional loan if your parents don't qualify for parent loans, so they were able to help me afford to come.
I never thought I was going to go to college at first. I mean, I wasn't really that type of guy. Like, school really wasn't for me, but it was just the pressure of my family. You got to go to college. You got to do better for yourself. I go home every weekend almost. I've been here for the 4 years, and I've been home like almost every weekend. So that does shows you that I'm a family kind of guy. So that's one of the reasons why I originally came to Kutztown.
I was the first one in my family, my household, really to take the risk and go into college education. I know my mom always told me that you want to be able to get an education because education is key. Education is going to help you really become beneficial and having options in this world. I know for her, she has to take a lot of people's crap because she never had an education, never got an education. And she's always telling me that you want to better yourself, improve yourself, and become better than what I was at one point. And I know that support from her really pushed me through to take the risks I have to become the person I am today and, receive the education I'm getting now.
I was born and partially raised in Cuba. I was born in 1992. That was a really bad period for Cuba. It was a special period when the Soviet Union fell apart. So it was a harsh economic time to be there. So that's why my family wanted me to move here to have a better life and to have more opportunities. My parents didn't really have an input on me deciding to come to Kutztown because I don't think my mom being an immigrant, I don't think she realizes what the whole concept of college is.
Most of my friends really didn't had that drive to go to school, so I basically came by myself. I really didn't have no one here, and it was really hard for me to adapt to this new thing, It was just me. So I just relied on my family, my family being close to them. And yeah, I mean, I could say that that's the hardest thing that has happened to me since I came here, just adapting to being by myself, basically.
I never had that experience of living with people my age. So I went to the rec center, the gym, and I go in there and I see all these people my age just working out, and I started crying and I left. I don't know why. It was like a culture shock for me. It was a good thing. It made me move out of my comfort zone. It pushed me to be more interactive with people. I've made a lot of friends since then. It was just a scary culture shock for me.
The biggest thing that turns students away is probably that there aren't enough, there's not enough of a Spanish population here. And I definitely think that that's a turnoff. You come, you don't see any kind of familiar faces, and you're like, oh, I don't want to go here because I can't find anyone that I can relate to. So I think the biggest thing is really to encourage kids that there is a place for you. You have to give it some time. You have to find it. I definitely think that's a hindrance, and I think that people tend to come for 1 semester or 1 year and they don't find their place and then they leave. You kind of have to seek out, those kind of organizations. You're not just going to go to class and find too many Spanish kids sitting next to you. I mean, the population just isn't that big.
Kutztown is a good choice because for Latino local students, we're in this corridor with Reading and Allentown, and some families aren't ready to send their kids off to college to stay. They want them to go there and have the academic success, but they aren't ready to have them leave their home. And some students aren't ready to leave their home. So it's an easy commute, and even if they do come and live here, they're very close.
It's a small population of us here, but I think it's a great choice because since there aren't that many, you have plenty of opportunities to stand out. You know, who doesn't want to take every opportunity that you can and then be able to say, you know, I'm a Latino student and I did this internship, or I joined this club, or I was the president of this. I mean, you have an opportunity to shine because you're so rare, you know? So I think that's a huge reason to come to Kutztown.